Have you ever found yourself stuck in a loop trying to make your code more efficient? It can be a real challenge, right? If that's you, then you're in the right place. Today, we're going to explore how to turn a simple for loop into a more functional construct in F#. I totally get it. Many developers face the same struggle when trying to write cleaner, more functional code. You're not alone in wanting to improve your coding style and efficiency. Here's the specific situation we're looking at. A user named Wotek has an investment type with a lifetime property. He wants to iterate over the years of investment and perform calculations for each year without using a for loop. Sound familiar? Let's dive into this together. So what's the issue here? Using a for loop is common, but it doesn't always align with functional programming principles. We want to explore alternatives that can make our code cleaner and more expressive. And stick around. By the end of this video, you'll have a solid understanding of how to refactor your loop into a more functional style, and I promise it will be worth your time. To transform the for loop into a more functional style, the user can utilize the list module in F#. This allows for a more elegant approach to iterate over a range of years. Next, the user can define a function that performs the desired calculations for each year. This function will take the year as an argument and return the result of the calculations. Now, the user can apply the calculation function to each year using list.map. This will allow them to generate a list of results for each year of the investment. Finally, the user can print the results to see the output of their calculations for each year. This step will display the results in a clear format. Fun fact, the concept of functional programming dates back to the 1950s. It's amazing how these principles have stood the test of time and are still relevant today. Now let's look at the answers provided by other users. An alternative solution provided by another user suggests using the list.iter function. They recommend creating a list of years from 1 to the lifetime of the investment and then iterating over that list to perform the desired calculations. Let's take a moment to review another user's answer. An alternative approach suggested by a user is to use tail recursion instead of a for loop. Tail recursion allows for aggregating results without mutable variables and supports early termination. This method is efficient in F# as it gets optimized into a loop by the compiler. While using list.iter is another option, it creates a single linked list, which can be less efficient in terms of performance and memory compared to a for loop. However, tail recursion is more flexible and can return values, unlike the for loop. Now let's dive into a different answer from another user. This user suggests using recursive functions like map and iter to replace the for loop. The map function transforms a list, while iter applies a function to each element without returning a new list. Additionally, the user shows how to use standard looping syntax in a functional way, using list comprehensions. This allows for a more concise and functional style of iteration. Here's a pro tip. Embrace functional programming concepts in your coding practice. It can lead to cleaner, more maintainable code that is easier to understand. And there you have it. You've learned how to turn a simple for loop into a more functional construct in F#. Remember, practicing these concepts will enhance your coding skills. If you found this helpful, hit the subscribe button for more tips, and don't miss our next video on advanced F# techniques.